Hope everyone had a great Christmas because I know I did, as well as the Steelers, because everything that needed to happen to increase their playoff chances this past weekend did happen. Patriots lost to the Bengals, Titans lost to the Texans, and then on Christmas Day, Tua threw not one, not two, but three interceptions to the Green Bay Packers, which led to the Packers' eventual victory 26-20. Now all we're waiting for is this Colts win over the Chargers on Monday Night Football. Looks like an unlikely scenario, but don't forget what KG said. Anything is possible. And it's not like the spread's anything outrageous. Maybe Vegas knows something that we don't. It started out at like 4.5. Now it's jumped down to 3.5. You got Big Dick Nick Foles at the helm for the Colts, so maybe he provides some energy there. It's not like he hasn't won some big games in the past, so why not on Monday Night Football in his first start with the Indianapolis Colts? But outside all that, we still have to give a formal recap to this Steelers-Raiders game from Christmas Eve. Wanted to drop a vid yesterday, but I was just chilling and relaxing with the fam, man, on Christmas Day. So I hope you guys understand. But we're here now. Steelers-Raiders, let's get into the recap. First thing we got to start with, the man of the hour, Kenny Pickett. Kenny Dimes, Kenny Pittsburgh, Kenny Clutch, whatever you want to call him. Dude delivered when all the chips were on the line, a game-winning drive, Pickett to Pickens. Steelers go up 13-10, and then that eventually led way to the Cam Sutton game-winning interception as well to really seal the deal. But for Kenny's performance, yeah, that's what you want. That's what we've been looking for. Some ice in the veins, some clutchness. When you need 7 points, you get 7 points. This was a big deal. This was a big deal to win this game because the Immaculate Reception, the 50th anniversary, Franco Harris's jersey retirement, at home, Christmas Eve, Steelers versus Raiders, prime time, loser goes home. This was a big deal. And for Pickett to step up in this way, this is the type of shit we saw from Ben. This is the type of shit that we like to see from a franchise quarterback. And Pickett showed up in a big way. And why I'm saying this is a big deal too is with all those circumstances. Like, you're either going to rise to the occasion or you're not. So for Pickett, this has to do a ton for his confidence going forward, but also for the confidence of his teammates and the offense in the locker room to believe in him going forward. Like, just think about it this way. It's either you get it done or you don't. Like, sometimes you just got to throw excuses of the weather, the conditions, all that stuff out the window. At some point, the Steelers were going to need 7 points in this game. And the Steelers got the 7 points. We praise other quarterbacks for this. We praise Big Ben for this type of stuff. Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers, when they deliver on the final 2-minute drive, throw everything else that happened in that game out the window. The detractors can point to the pick or the offense needed to score more points, but I don't care. I don't care because if you want to look on the other side of the field, Pickett was going up against, I think we'd all agree, right? A top 12 or 13 quarterback in the NFL. He's been in the league for a while. We respect Derek Carr. We think he's a solid quarterback. Pickett outplayed that guy in the same conditions, same exact conditions. But actually, Carr, I mean, dare I say, think he has more at his disposal with his offensive weapons, a Darren Waller, a Hunter Renfrow, a Devontae Adams, with a Josh Jacobs who's leading the league in rushing yards. Kenny Pickett, now I love our offensive weapons, but no one's saying those dudes are at that level just yet with some of those Raiders guys. I think they're going to get there. I mean, they're just young, though. Kenny Pickett, look at the stats. Look at the win. Look at the final game-winning drive. Kenny Pickett outplayed Derek Carr in that game. It's as simple as that. And then final thing with Pickett, before we move on, I don't want to hear anything about his arm strength anymore. I was at the game. I don't know how much you guys could tell on TV, and I was sitting kind of close. His passes were cutting through the wind. There's no question about his arm strength at all. So I don't want to hear it anymore. I just really don't. And then with the rest of the offense, you just got to give a salute for grinding and just staying mentally tough out there. It wasn't pretty, but with like the offensive line and the running game, it was tough yards. Najee Harris, Jalen Warren sticking with it. Pickens and Deontay, they're doing their thing out there. Shout out to Pickens for the game-winning touchdown because it takes a great throw, but it also takes a catch. Not an easy thing or a guaranteed thing out there considering the circumstances. Because Muth, I was going to shout out Muth next because he did have a really nice game, but he did have that one drop that was literally like I think it was like right at his face mask, hit him right in the hands. But No, overall, just a gritty performance. Gritty performance. Low scoring game. It was one of those because of the temperatures, the wind, and everything. Every point, every series was gonna matter, and we got out of there with more points than the Raiders. So what else can you ask for? And then going back to Najee, he had to do it. He had to do it, right? It's one of those things where, with me being at the game, people were going absolutely crazy for the jump over the Raiders defender. But I think deep down, we're all just like, dude, run over him, please. But when this works, I don't know, it just hits different. I mean, the stiff arm, the truck, that hits different too. But the jumping, just literally clearing over someone, that's kind of embarrassing for the defender. On defense, it was a lights out performance. Outside of that first series where the Raiders were able to drive the ball with ease, display physicality in the running game, and then eventually they got the 7 on the Carter Renfro pass. Not much you could do there on that one because that was perfect coverage by Cam Sutton. You just chalk it up to having no answer for that type of throw and catch. I want to call it fluky, lucky, but at the end of the day, I guess there's just, hey, you chalk it up to good play by them. Raiders weren't able to do jack shit pretty much after that. Cam Hayward was playing like a man possessed. We got the 3 interceptions with Minka, Mallette, and also Cam Sutton. Robert Spillane, I think we got to shout out Robert Spillane. He was making tackles all over the place. He was not afraid to hit in this game. You got TJ Watt, still not looking 100% like himself, making plays. Alex Highsmith, the Pro Bowl snub, proving that he was a Pro Bowl snub. Overall, the defense only let up 10 points. You can't really ask for more than that. And even given the conditions, 10 points. Offense, you just got to score more than 10 points, which is what they did. And it didn't really have to come down to the final drive like that, because if we just make the field goals, we're up 12-10, and what would it have been in the late third quarter or fourth quarter? But obviously it didn't happen. It ended in a more exciting fashion, I'd say. But going to the special teams, a lot of people are complaining about Tomlin deciding to let Boz kick that 52-yarder in, negative freezing conditions. I don't mind it. I really don't. I mean, Boz missed the first one. I don't think there's any excuse for that, right? It was like a 40-yarder. But the 52-yarder, it was 4th and short. Could the Steelers have just gone for it instead of throwing Boz out there? I like it. If you're paying Boz top 3 kicker money, you put him out there to give him a chance. It was only a 50-something yarder. And obviously distance wasn't the issue. He just missed it wide. That's really it. I don't know how much the conditions had to do with it too. He was kicking on the close then. He was just weird. It was this Jekyll and Hyde thing, because whenever he was kicking on the open end, he drove it right down the middle. I'm fine with the decision to kick it. I just wish Boz would have made his kicks. I don't know if that's asking too much given the weather and the circumstances. But man, either way, we got out of there with the dub on Christmas Eve. Do we reach here and say, the Immaculate Reception 50 years ago and call this one the Immaculate Connection? Pickett to Pickens? Started something new? I know I hinted at that a little bit in the initial post-game report, but no, it was just a really good atmosphere. The fans showed out too, man. There was more people that showed up than I thought initially going in. I'd say it was 50-50, but the people that were there, there was energy. There was definitely some electricity going on in the building. Everyone stood up the whole time, which helped. I mean, you kind of had to, because if you would have sat down, you probably would have got even more cold. But no, it was just a really fun game to be at, something that I'll remember for the rest of my life. So I hope you guys enjoyed this edition of Big Deke News. Stay chilling. Let me know what you guys think of the game. What do you think of the Steelers' playoff chances? Pickett, anything I missed in this edition, just drop it down in the comments. Stay chilling. Peace.